Okay, so once again, good morning everyone. So our topic for today is about chapter 15, managing global systems. No, so after this chapter, we will be able to answer the following questions. No, what major factors are driving the internationalizations of business? Uh, what are the alternative strategies for developing global businesses? How can information systems support different global business strategies? What are the challenges posed by global information system and management solutions for these challenges? And what are the issues and technical alternatives to be considered when developing an international organization system? So in earlier chapter, we described the emergence of a global economic systems and global work order driven by advanced networks and information systems. So the new world order is sweeping away many national corporations, national industries, and national economies controlled by domestic politicians. So many localized firms will be replaced by fast-moving network of corporations that transcend national boundaries. So the growth in international trade has radically altered domestic economics around the globe. So today, the production and design of many electronic products are parceled out to a number of different countries. Now, consider the path to market for HP laptop computer, which is also the idea for the product and initial design came from HP's laptop design team in the US. So HP headquarters in Houston approved the concept. So graphics processors were designed in Canada and manufactured in Taiwan. Taiwan and South Korea provided the liquid crystal display screens and many of the memory chips. So the laptop hard disk came from Japan. Sources in China, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and United States supplied other components. So laptop assembly took place in China. Contractors in Taiwan did the machines engineering design and collaborated with the Chinese manufacturers. Now, this lesson describe how to go about building an international information system architecture suitable for your international strategy. Because an international information system architecture consists of the basic information system required by organizations to coordinate work-wide trade and other activities. So the basic strategies to follow when building an international system is to understand the global environment in which your firm is operating. And this means understanding the overall market forces or business drivers that are pushing your industry toward global competition. So a business driver is a force in the environment to which businesses must respond, and that influences the direction of the business. Likewise, examine carefully the inhibitors or negative factors that create management challenges, factors that could scuttle the development of a global businesses. Once you have examined the global environment, you will need to consider a corporate strategy for competing in the environment. How will your firm respond? You could ignore the global market and focus on the domestic competition, only sell to the globe from a domestic base, or organized productions and distributions around the globe. And there are many in-between choices. So after you have developed a strategy, it is time to consider how to structure your organization so it can pursue the strategy. So how will you accomplish a division of labor across a global environment? Where will production, administration, accounting, marketing, and human resource functions be located? So who will handle the system and functions? Then next, you must consider the management issues in implementing your strategy in making the organization's design come alive. So key here will be the design of business processes. So how can you discover and manage user requirements? How can you introduce change in local units to conform to international requirements? And how can you re-engineer on global scale? And how can you coordinate system development? Although changing technology is a key driving factor leading toward global markets. You need to have a corporate strategy and structure before you can rationally choose the right technology. Then, after you have completed this process of reasoning, you will be well on your way toward an appropriate international information systems portfolio capable of achieving your corporate goals. Now, when it comes to the global environment and business drivers and challenges, we need to consider the global communication and transportation technologies, the global market per se. Now, another thing, of course, the development of global culture. So global production and operations. Emergence of global social norms, no, the coordinations, the political stability, no, and the global base, or global knowledge base. Now, there are some business challenges. Now, although the possibilities of globalization for business success are significant, fundamental forces are operating and inhibit a global economy and to disrupt international business. Now, at a cultural level, particularism, making judgment and taking action on the basis of narrow or personal characteristics in all its regions, no, rejects the very concept of a shared global culture and rejects the penetration of domestic markets by foreign goods and services. So differences among cultures produce differences in social expectation, politics, and ultimately legal rules. So in certain countries, such as US, consumers expect domestic name brand products to be built domestically and are disappointed to learn that much of what they thought of as domestically produced is in fact foreign made. So different culture produce different political regimes. Among the many different countries of the world are different law governing the movement of information privacy of their citizens, origin of the software and hardware and system, and radio and satellite communication. So even the hours of business and the terms of business trade vary greatly across political cultures. And these different legal regimes compliance global business and must be considered when building global system. So the transborder data flow is defined as the movement of information across international boundaries in any form. In some countries, prohibit the processing of financial information outside their boundaries on the movement of personal information to foreign countries. So financial services, travel, and healthcare companies are often directly affected. So in response, most multinational firms develop information system which each country to avoid the cost and uncertainty of moving information across national boundaries. So the challenges and obstacle to global business system, as I mentioned, cultural particularism, the regionalism, the nationalism, the language differences. Let's say, for example, here in the Philippines now, maybe somebody could understand Bisaya, kaya Ilocano. But how about for the persons who are staying here in Manila? No, so the standards, no, different electronic data interchange, no, email, telecommunication standards, no. When it comes to social expectations, no, brand name, expectation and work hours. Then in the political law, we have the transborder data and privacy law, commercial regulations. Okay, so that three organizational issues face corporations seeking a global positions are the choosing a strategy, organizing the business, and organizing the system management area. The first two are closely connected. So the four main global strategies form the basis for global firms organizational structure. These are the domestic exporter, multidimensional or multinational, franchisor, and transactional. So each of these strategies is pursued with a specific business organizational structure. So the domestic exporter strategy is characterized by heavy centralization of corporate activities in the home country of origin. So nearly all international companies begin this way and some move on to other forms. like production, finance, accounting, sales, marketing, human resource, and the strategic management are set up to optimize resources in the home country. So international sales are sometimes dispersed using agency agreements or subsidiaries. But even here, foreign marketing relies on the domestic home base for marketing themes and strategies. No? For the multinational strategies, it concentrates financial management and control out of a central home base while decentralizing production, sales, and marketing operations to units in its countries. Okay. Now, the products and services on sale in different countries are adapted to suit local market conditions. So the organization become a far-flung confederation of production and marketing facilities in different countries. And many financial services firms, along with a host of manufacturers such as General Motors, Chrysler, and Intel, fit this pattern. For the franchisors, they are the interesting mix of old and new. On the other hand, the product is created, designed, financed, and initially produced in the home country. But for product-specific reasons, must rely heavily on foreign personnel for further production, marketing, and human resources. The food franchisors such as McDonald's, Jollibee, KFC, fit this pattern. McDonald's created a new form of fast food chain in the US and continued to rely largely on the US for inspiration of new products, strategic management, and financing. Generally, foreign franchisees are clones on the mother country units for fully coordinated worldwide productions that could optimize factors of productions is not possible. Okay, so the transnational firms are the stateless, truly globally managed firms that represent a larger part of international business in the future. So transnational firms have no single national headquarters, but instead have a many regional headquarters and perhaps a world headquarters. Now, the information technology and improvements in global telecommunications are giving international firms more flexibility to shape their global strategies. So the configuration, the management, and development of system tend to follow the global strategy chosen. So by systems, we mean the full range of activities involved in building and operating information system, conception and alignment with a strategic business plan, system development, and ongoing operations and maintenance. For the sake of the simplicity, we consider 4 types of system configuration. The centralized systems are those in which systems develop and operation occur totally on the domestic home base. Another is the duplicated system. This will be in which development occurs at the home base, but operations are handed over to autonomous units in foreign location. Number 3, decentralized system are those in which each foreign unit design its own unique solutions and system. And the last is the network system are those in which system develop and operation occur in an integrated and coordinated fashion across all units. Now, reorganizing the business. To develop a global company and information system support structure, first need to follow this principle. Number 1, they need to organize value-adding activities along lines of comparative advantage. For instance, marketing, sales functions should be located where they can best be performed for least cost and maximizing impact. Likewise with production, finance, human resources, and information system. Number 2, develop and operate systems unit at each level of corporate activity, regional, national, and international. To serve local needs, there should be host country systems, units of some magnitude. In managing global systems, the principal management problem posed by developing international system, it is interesting to note that these problems are the chief difficulties managers' experience in developing ordinary domestic system as well. But these are enormously complicated in the international environment. So managing challenges in developing global system, of course, agreeing on common user requirements, introducing changes in business processes, coordinating application development, coordinating software releases, and encouraging local users to support global system. We need to consider, of course, make the benefits clear. It is very important. Because one of the worst situations to avoid is to build global system for the sake of building global system. So from the beginning, it is crucial that senior management at headquarters and foreign division managers clearly understand the benefits that will come to the company as well as to the individual units. Although each system offers unique benefits to a particular budget, the overall contributions of global system lies in 4 areas. Okay? So, a while ago, we considered the technology issues and opportunities for global value chains. Firms have defined a global business model and system strategy. They must select hardware, software, and networking standards along with key system application to support global business processes. Hardware, software, networking pose special technical challenges in an international setting. And one major challenge is finding some way to standardize a global computing platform when there is so much variation from different operating unit to operating unit and from country to country. Another major challenge is finding specific software applications that are user-friendly and that truly enhance the productivity of international work systems. The universal acceptance of the internet around the globe has greatly reduced networking problems, but the mere presence of the internet does not guarantee that information will flow seamlessly throughout the global organization, because not all business units use the same applications and the quality of internet service can be highly variable. For instance, other business communicate which incompatible with American headquarters teams, which use Lotus Notes. Overcoming these challenges require system integration and connectivity in global basis. Yes. So, a while ago, we leave five questions to understand and to answer in this topic. Number 1, what major factors are driving the internationalization of businesses? No, the growth of inexpensive international communication and transportation has created a world culture with stable expectation or norms. Political stability and growing global knowledge base that is widely shared also contribute to the world culture. And these general factors create the conditions for global markets, productions, coordinations, distribution, and global economies of scale. Number 2, what are the alternative strategies for developing global business? Again, as I mentioned earlier, there are 4 basic international strategies: domestic exporter, multinational, franchisor, and transnational. In a transnational strategy, all factors of productions are coordinated on a global scale. However, the choice of strategy is a function of the type of business and product. Number 3, how can information systems support different global business strategy? There is a connection between firm strategy and information system design. Transnational firms must develop network system configurations and permit considerable decentralization of development and operation. Franchisors almost always duplicate system across many countries and use centralized financial controls. Multinational typically rely on decentralized independence among centralized financial controls. Foreign units with some movement towards development of networks, and domestic exporter typically are centralized in domestic headquarters with some decentralized operations permitted. Number 4, what are the challenges posed by the global information system and management solutions for these challenges? Global information system pose challenges because cultural, political, and language diversity magnifies differences in organizational culture and business processes and encourages proliferations of disparate local information systems that are difficult to integrate. Typically, international systems have evolved within a conscious plan. So the remedy is to define a small subset of core business processes and focus on building systems to support these processes. Tactically, managers will have to cope widely dispersed foreign units to participate in the development in operation of the system, being careful to maintain overall culture. And the last question is, what are the issue and technical alternatives to be considered when developing international information system? Implementing a global system requires an implementation strategy that consider both business design and technology platforms. As I stated earlier, the main hardware and telecommunications issues are system integration and connectivity. Let's say, for example, if I am staying in Bulacan, it is advisable for me to use a smartphone or a smart line. I mean, here in Cainta, I used to always use my globe at home. So it depends upon the location. So connectivity is a concern. So the choices for integrations are to go either with a proprietary architecture or with open system technology, because global networks are extremely difficult to build and operate. So firm can build their own global networks, or they can create global networks based on the internet, the intranet or virtual private networks. So the main software issue concern building interfaces to existing systems and selecting applications that can work with multiple cultural, language, and organizational frameworks. So I think that's it.